Hello and welcome everyone to this GSA race, Super Mario Sunshine between AverageTrey and Paperarium. Uh,
Paperarium.
yeah, I've probably mentioned, yeah, thank you. This is quarterfinal of this Super Mario Sunshine tournament. Any percent. I am Scotch and Tyga. You can call me Scotch, but in the booth with me is Samurai Man. How are we doing today, man?
I'm doing good. I'm really excited for this next quarterfinal match.
Yeah, we're deep into this tournament now. This is single elimination, so it's one and done for either of these guys. Both have done pretty well in their brackets, so we'll look to have them do pretty well here as well.
Yeah, both runners going almost undefeated in the group stages, both having 2 wins and a loss and enough points to move on to the next round, which is the quarterfinal. The winner moves on, the loser goes home, even though they stay home.
We got a little bit of a mix up here. We'll get a little sync. We're very thankful for our restreamers. Today we got Cheese on the restream, lining up these videos for you all so that we get proper timing.
During the intro, we will definitely introduce the runners a little bit more. AverageTrey, been running since 2013, 2014, I believe. No, quite an old school guy, as well as Paperario, who started around the same time as I did in 2012. It's been a long time for both of the runners.
So a couple of veteran guys, if you will. Been around this game for a while.
Master Mario, if you would, cross over to that shore and find some assistance.
About 6.5, 7 minutes worth of cutscenes here. So if you need to go pop some popcorn or make yourself a sandwich or whatever, or you got a pizza in the oven, probably get it done by this time. A little bit of movement here and there, nothing too crazy though.
Power up complete. Thank you for purchasing this item from GAD Science
Now,
Incorporated.
Samu, you're also in this tournament. How are you feeling about this tournament so far?
Good. I'm feeling pretty good. It's been a great tournament. Yesterday I had a match which I won, and funnily enough, the winner of this match is gonna play against me.
So Samu in here, you know, getting a little bit of a heads up on his future opponent, maybe.
Yeah.
But you know, this whole tournament so far has been just really awesome. You know, from start to finish. You know, the group stages especially. Really interesting to see how the points have lined up for these guys. If you're interested in knowing what the brackets look like, exclamation point bracket in chat. Check that out. Exclamation point schedule to see all the stuff GSA's got going on. But yeah, just overall, a really nice tournament so far.
Yeah, it's been received really well as a whole tournament. And there's like a whole different variations possibilities like bingos, when it shines. Maybe we will see those kind of tournaments in the future. Starting off with the Piranha Plant opening. There's like a little bit of optimized movement you can do at the start, saving like around half a second. Both runners not going for it since it's like not that significant time save for the race. Both players are on Japanese version. There's a lot of version differences. One of the main difference for Japanese version being like best version or overall the version you want to run on is the loading times being faster when you load back to Delfino Plaza. Not just not entering the stages and secrets don't matter at all. They're exactly the same as the other versions. but for some reason Delfino is faster.
Now, Samu, what kind of strategies do you expect to see from either of these guys? Do you expect to see some riskier strategies? For instance, through secrets, using movement that's faster, but certainly riskier? Or do you expect them to play it kind of, lay it low and just play consistent?
I feel like some of the racers may decide doing like what they're already doing in runs, maybe change a little bit of strats just to make it consistent and safer, because there's lots of risky strats that then just straight up lose you like 30 seconds easily if you mess up that. I would expect them to keep doing what they're doing, and if they're watching their opponent, they may actually change their strats if they're either behind or ahead.
Yeah, a lot of these runners, depending on their point of view, they'll either watch or not watch. My suspicion is that these guys are watching each other in this race, but we'll have to ask them afterwards.
I feel like some racers don't want to look at their opponents and focus on their own gameplay. That's what I actually do. I want to focus on my own gameplay before I look at my opponent later in a run. Am I ahead or behind? That way I be like a lot of comfort zone if I'm behind or ahead. It's like everyone has their own plan, race plan, and going for risky strats or not. It really depends. Sunshine is a kind of game too that the consistency matters a lot. Then there's RNG just to like balance the whole movement skills. Both runners are really skillful players, but being in a community for so long, then the RNG will just like decide the race either way.
They used to gather in great numbers at the Shine Lake, but the graffiti incident has polluted the island and most of the Shine sprites have fled. There is
Well, we're
no
getting close to the
longer
end of
any
this
power to
cutscene.
support the
Finally,
peaceful lifestyle of the islanders. It is most pitiable.
last major cutscene that we really have to sit through, fortunately, before we get through some really big gameplay. And we'll see some cutscene skips here and there, and we'll make sure to inform you on those in case you aren't completely knowledgeable, or if this is the first time you're watching a Super Mario Sunshine race.
Tomorrow we must do our best to resolve this situation.
Before we get started, who do you think is gonna take this? Is it gonna be a really close race? We all hope for a close race, but who might win?
Just based off of play that I've seen so far, my suspicion is that Paper will take the win. But like we said before, both these guys in the group stages have played extremely well. So I mean, AverageTrey, as long as he plays consistent and everything, that I can see him winning as well.
Yeah, it can go either way. I predict Paper is gonna win, but Trey can easily prove everything wrong if he keeps playing consistently and gets relatively fine RNG alongside to keep the lead on. Paper going for that blue coin that saves no time.
It's kind of memeing around, but that's been the great thing. That's been the great thing about this tournament.
A little bit of practice for 120 shines. I'm sorry. Go ahead now.
That's the thing I've liked about this tournament, though, is that like you can suspect that someone's gonna win, but then something completely different can happen. We saw that with Ouija. Ouija's very well known in the Super Mario Sunshine community for just playing extremely consistently all the time, and he took a loss, which that was kind of unexpected to a degree. So anything can happen.
Yeah. Both runners. I don't know if Paper try to go for the quick kill. The quick kill is that where you get the spam spray to hit the Shadow Mario. Only one spam spray is enough to knock off Shadow Mario. Ray was going for it, but he didn't get it. It can be scary because you don't want to take a bonk from Shadow Mario. If that happens, then you're not gonna be able to get the quick kill after that. And if he goes too far, he's gonna warp forward and lose you 10 seconds because he goes too far and takes a long route back to the statue. But we are in Bianco Hills, and here is the first like intended or like left shine skip in a whole game. There's a Pianta next to the windmill asking you, aren't you getting ahead of yourself when you're getting up there during Bianco 1? Paper already going for the wider and full kicks. Very awesome.
Yeah,
Trey
very
having
nice
some
move there.
trouble with full kicks. The cycle for the windmill is always the same. Then the only RNG, the luck element in that shine is the spider. Sometimes the spider will be closer to the windmill, making it easier to catch the right cycle. Then it will be far left, next to the mountain or the shore. Then it just makes it harder to get to the right cycle with the windmill. Usually it's the right one runners get on, but if you're too fast, then you won't be able to use the wide turn ball kicks to save more time over the regular ball kicks.
Well, and you're just talking about RNG there for a moment. You know, that's the big thing here in Super Mario Sunshine in particular, just how RNG heavy this game can be. So we'll see that a little bit later. But here, pretty easy fight here with Petey. Nothing too crazy, just fill him up with water, a couple ground pounds, get it out of the way.
Yeah, the RNG is sort of in a big role for Sunshine runs. One particular one is right at the beginning, and 10 minutes later there's the next one, like the big RNG shines. There's not like RNG in every shine, there's like a minor that makes no difference, but the major ones are like 4 shines overall.
Well, we're going to jump back in here, take on our first secret. Arguably the easiest secret of the game.
Unless you go for strat that saves half a second. I highly doubt runners would go for it in a race, and I don't think they ever go for it anyway. Those kind of optimizations won't matter if you want to go for a really good time.
Well, and that's, I mean, I talked about that earlier, you know, in races, you get to make the decision of, you know, what do I want to go something riskier, do I want to go something a little bit easier? So we'll see what decisions these guys make throughout the run, but like you said, it's especially in a race where you don't want to take a death, and especially in a secret you don't want to die, like, for sure. It's much safer to take those more consistent strats.
Yeah, in races you don't have a reset button to try again, and you make a death, you already lost the time and possibly the lead, so it's much safer option to take the less riskier strats and much consistent strats. Upcoming trick is called Travel Skip, where they are gonna open Rico. Now they have got this event cutscene. They're gonna go open Rico, so they get rid of event cutscene, and at the same time they start doing Travel Skip, where they enter Bianco Hills while Rico Harbor is opening during that time. And after they're done with Bianco Hills 4, Rico is already open in the background, and they will successfully skip one event cutscene. An event cutscene is about 4 seconds each time you load back to Delfino.
So we'll see Paper take on this trick here in just a moment. Unfortunately, lost a little bit of connection there with Trey's stream, but there, Paper getting travel skip very nicely.
The camera cast really cheap there. Based on Trey's speed, he also got it. Very awesome. Now, one of my favorite, and probably many people's favorite shine to watch, Bianco Hills 4 Red Coins. Really movement heavy to show like the Sunshine's movement just in a one shine.
Well, that's what I was about to say. This is such a movement heavy, you know, shine, especially through this, you know, small area. Nice movement there from Paper as we see it so far, and Trey following up very closely behind.
Yeah, this shine introduces like everything, like water slides to momentum spin jumps, then just hovering at the right time, spin jump into the right direction, so you will hover less. Like it has everything to show off the game. Really awesome. And I noticed Paper going for the harder momentum spin jump after 8 red coin. That is really risky and saves a second. Very nicely done, Paper. The momentum spin jump is like when you roll out against a slot, for example, you're able to maintain your speed. That's why we call it a momentum spin jump, because you can keep that momentum with the spin jump, getting more distance and height from it. And the next shine, Nintendo likes to reuse all the bosses, right? Well, this boss is not like Bianco 2 PD. This actually has RNG and is the major reset point for many runners.
Well, I like talking about this. There's 774 different combinations of patterns that you can get with PD here. So, you know, Trey has the ability to possibly take the lead here if Paper gets a bad pattern.
Yeah, any like kind of Trey gets a good start. He's like on point to get the second best pattern, but if PD doesn't go that direction he wants him to go to after his second hit, then it's no longer second fastest pattern. Meanwhile, Paper's PD just went over the wall, and he will keep flying a little bit more if he goes that direction where the hover nozzle is, but he doesn't go that way. Paper still has a good chance to get an average PD pattern. Also, not to mention that the tornado PD throws there, that has a 60% chance to happen each time he is knocked off from the sky. Paper getting an average pattern for PD, then Drake getting the second fastest pattern. That's really makes it really even, catching up a little bit there.
Yeah. So Trey will make up a little bit of time here, gets the tornado unfortunately, but it looks like he should be able to make it up. He'll do just fine.
I mentioned about the event cutscenes. At 3 shines, Rico Harbor opens, that's why runners went for travel skip. With 5 shines, Gelato Beach opens, then runners and everyone in a community a long time ago like realized how much time save you get from skipping the event cutscenes. So going from Bianco 5 to Gelato after that was much better choice. So you get rid of event cutscenes until you have 10 shines, and after 10 shines, the game tells you to go to Pina Park because that's the next stage. It opens at 10 shines.
Here we see these guys taking on Looted Piranha. Gonna open up this area.
Not so much different from Rico Harbor's Piranha. And we get to see the most known skip in this game that was known for so long that the shine is real, but never found a way until 2014 how to get the shine in a class. That shine is real, has been real, we always knew that, but just getting inside the class was another thing that we had no idea how to get it. And since that, Gelato Beach was always skipped. Only episode 7 shine matters for any person, because beating Shadow Mario is required to beat the game, or unlock the Corona, let's say. Shadow Mario is the trigger for beating the game, and he's always in episode 7. That's why Gelato Beach skip was a huge bless for the Sunshine community and the runners. They're getting it first try, very awesome. And both runners using the new way of using the clip, setting up the clip, where they drop the coconut on the top of the foot. quickly get the angle, the right angle they need for getting the clip, and that saves a good amount of time, a couple seconds I believe, over the old strat where they would grab either the hood or the fence after placing the coconut next to it.
So both these guys getting that skip pretty easily, and we'll take on Shadow Mario here, get these quick kills out of the way.
And they're done with Gelato. That's it.
So it's Gelato and then oh, I'm forgetting the name of the first area.
Bianco.
Bianco, thank you. I don't know why I skipped my mind. So Gelato and Bianco are the only two where you don't need to get all those shines to get to Shadow Mario. You know, we skip one in Bianco, and then we skip essentially all of them in Gelato. So we're going to move on up here now. Nice movement there from Paper.
Yeah, the village next. That loading zone is always available from the very start of the game. There used to be a route a long time ago where runners will do Pianta village first because of Yoshi's skip that is coming up to shine. That wasn't well understood skip, and runners wanted to get rid of that skip as soon as possible, like in the early 2012s, 2013.
Well, here we have another instance of a little bit of RNG. These chomplet patterns, depending on which way they go, can really change how quickly or slowly you get this done. It looks like Trey got a little bit of a better pattern than Paper there.
They kind of got the same. Only that last jump matters, time save wise. Because the last jump will either go that direction, they went for the runners. He went for the runners, or the other way, that will be around the corner. Then you have to wait a little bit more. Next giant, coffee break, nothing special. Minasimo, the fastest runner of this game.
Oh, the most consistent speedrunner of all time. Pretty simple, just beat him. He always takes the same amount of time though, so it doesn't really matter too much. Paper, taking the time to get that blue coin and then just memeing around with the fruit. Trey, on the other hand,
He beat it faster, so therefore he should be ahead, right? It doesn't matter how fast you beat Piantissimo. For the first Piantissimo races, he always has the same pattern, and the faster you beat him, the faster he gets later on. But in the speedruns, you only race him once. You never get to see his other patterns. Next shine, Piano 3. Not really like a secret shine, but you lose the blood regardless when you enter a level. And you can use iframes here, invisibility frames, to get through that burning coop that will literally kill you if you don't have the iframes. You're just burning yourself and you can't save yourself from that spot, usually. Usually you can't save yourself.
Paper with really nice movement.
So that's AverageTrey.
So far, Trey's doing pretty good, and he'll get it as well. Really nice movement from both these guys. Very consistent. You know, Paper has the lead here, but Trey hasn't given up much room. Maybe a second or two here and there, but otherwise he's right on his tail.
Yeah, the PD pattern for both runners didn't matter that much. Paper getting a little bit worse than Trey, but the race is still really close, and Paper is ahead just because he has had a better shines overall than Trey.
Well, we see
This
a
shine
lot of...
also has some RNG. However, it's like nobody really knows the time difference. We always say a second difference between the middle, left, and right. Left being the best, by the way, I think.
Well, both these guys getting that left pattern. Again, like you're saying, it's negligible. It's a second difference, really, but obviously a second sometimes, especially in these races, it does count.
The chain jump never really jumps the pool unless you grab the chain when he's about to turn around, then hold forward. That just assumes that the jump is close enough to the pool, so it makes it to jump to the pool. Then the next shine is this known Yoshi skip, one of the first discoveries in a game, where you enter the secret Bianco Hill Spa, Pianta Village 5 without using a Yoshi. Normally at this game, the game assumes you have Yoshi, and Yoshi is unlocked everywhere in the game until they have done Pina Park 4. But runners don't have it, so they have to do Yoshi skip. With a well-used hover and a right spot to find the right spot, so they can wall slide off the ledge, then hover at the right time to enter the secret. There has been many different ways, strats to enter the secret over the past years, and this being pretty much the consistent and the fastest way.
Well, and here we're going to see if we can get this early cycle that we've seen a couple times in this tournament so far. Paper, unfortunately, not able to get it, but Trey has the opportunity to possibly get it here.
Yeah, if Trey gets it, he pulls ahead. Oh!
Which he does!
He's still... Take your time, Trey. No!
Oh no! Oh no! So he does get the early cycle, but unfortunately, the Pianta threw him in the wrong, or the Chuckster threw him in the wrong direction.
No. He actually knew that it's not gonna make it. I'm a little bit shocked over that.
Wow. So Trey is going to lose a ton of time here, and he's going to take his time. Could have possibly gotten an early cycle again, but he's going to take his time here.
This gives Paper a huge lead over Trey right now. Really unfortunate for Trey. He has to play really well and hope for some mistakes from Paper to catch up. But the race is still not over until the very last ground pound on a Bowser platform.
So a very interesting series of events there. Paper able to get that Chuckster done, but not getting that early cycle. Trey very close to that early cycle, but dying, unfortunately. Paper with a 2:13.
A very usual time from any top player to get the 3:13. Just over 2:10 is the average, I believe, that you would see from top runners. This shine contains a lot of spam sprays and quick movements from Pianta to Pianta. Spraying at the right spot to get the angle lock before you manage to get to the Pianta.
Yeah, Trey doing a really nice job here. Getting a 212.59. Just slightly slower than Paper. There by maybe half a second or maybe a second.
Paper leading Pianta with a really, really good time. 28:49, I think it was.
Well, we'll see Paper take on this next major skip. Cutscene skip here with Honey Skip. See if he's able to get it. Looks like he did.
Yep, he got it there.
So what that skip is you take a death from going out of bounds at the exact same time that the cutscene for Peanut Park opening up, which allows you to skip that whole cutscene.
I just noticed that Trey went for the quick kill with the Panda Village Shadow Mario. That is a really hard quick kill, where I mentioned about the spam spray. He managed to get that. Really nice by Trey. Then another cutscene skip, really, really easy than just dying for Paper, where you just enter the you're around to enter the loading zone, then you just pause and exit the area. You can do it before the mecha fight and after the mecha fight.
Here we got this mecha fight, something that even casually no one really looks forward to. Paper doing a good job so far.
I think that was the second fastest fight for mecha. Yeah, it was really nicely done by Paper. Then it's Trey's turn to do mecha. Peanut Park is one of those worlds where when you get your runs into out of Pianta, it's like you get hit by some really hard shines. You have mecha, then you have the secret in between before Pianta Village, Peanut Park 3, then you have Peanut Park 4 with the one cycle strats, and then EYG. Pina is stacked by hard shines.
Trey. Again, doing a really nice job. Gets 3. Looks like he got that done pretty quickly.
Oh, I think he missed one.
Oh, he did. I thought he had that. He has it there. Paper taking on this secret now. Pretty straightforward, nothing too difficult. Just jumping and diving and making sure to optimize that movement as much as you can. A little fake shine get. Sink there.
By judging that kind of time difference, I believe Trey is about 1 minute 15 seconds behind Paper, which is really unfortunate for him. It can be hard to catch up if Paper keeps playing consistently like this. Trey entering Peanut 2, meanwhile Paper is getting to Peanut Park 3. Reds in the Peanut 3 has seen many different strats over the past years, going from the right side of the ships after the second red coin, then going back to the ships after years later. Let's see what kind of strats they want to go for. I imagine they go for the basic one that everyone does. Yeah, Paper is going for that.
Well, I was about to say, we've been seeing you go after these task strats.
Yeah, there's a the
Points.
dust route. We call it the dust route of Pina 3 Reds. That is like 3 or 4 seconds faster than older red strats. Much harder, of course, but really significant time save if you manage to get that if you pull that off.
Paper doing a really nice job there, not missing a single red coin. Trey take on his reds now.
For Paper, the next shine, Pina 4, is somewhat special. That is the shine I mentioned that unlocks Yoshi in a whole game. For some odd reason, Pina 4 is the trigger for unlocking Yoshi in a whole game. It unlocks in Bianco, Rico, Pianta, just everywhere in the game after you beat this particular shine. And fortunately enough, this is also the shine right before you do EYG. Oh, I think Trey was going for the dust route, but he clipped through the gold. That's really unfortunate. Now he has to like kind of back up this movement. That can be really hard. Oh no, Trey.
Trey just having so much difficulty here with these reds, losing a ton of time.
It costs so much time to lose like anything. Just any mistake in Pina Park in general loses so much time. Like dropping off in Pina 3, not getting one cycle Pina 4, EYG, the secrets, Mecha, like anything that loses you so much time just from messing up one particular strat.
Well, it's just unfortunate to see, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Trey just succeeding a little bit more time here to Paper. And Paper on a really nice run.
Much better than I expected. Getting a pineapple. Any fruits are good, but I think coconut is still the first because it's so far outside behind Yoshi. So with EYG, you need a purple Yoshi to create a platform so you can go through. Ooh, these tools are not nice. There's 4 of them. You don't want to have that many Paper, don't you?
Yeah, Paper is getting ganged up here.
Oh, that's... Yeah, eating one of them might be a good idea. So you want to create a platform to look through that wall there. Then you want to create another platform that is purple, so it moves forward through this death barrier. You cannot stand here, you cannot just move there. It's dead zone, dead barrier, where you can't do anything. You would possibly softlock too. So using this platform, then getting orange Yoshi, you're able to enter the secret and skip Pina 5. Saves about a minute when done optimally.
Well, Paper did a really nice job of managing that, you know. Could have easily had a lot of difficulty with that, especially with having extra little guys hovering around there. But Paper taking that easier strat for those blocks. And he'll get the shine.
Now it's Trey's turn. Knowing the spot for all the fruits is really important when doing EYG. If you happen to spray one of those fruits too much, it would probably go to the water, or it just goes too far, so it's time save wise, it's not that good idea to go pick it up. There's always 2 fruits of everything, except pepper. Pepper doesn't exist in Pina Park.
Trey looks like he had a little bit of an easier time with that. And Paper did, and Paper trying to get this kill here on Shadow Mario. Does a pretty decent job.
Paper is done with peanut bar. Meanwhile, Trey is still in the secret.
And Trey again going for that more consistent strat. Oop. Little ledge grab there.
Question in the chat: is the 1-2 strat faster than a 2-2 setup? 1-2 is generally just harder. I believe time save wise, 1-2 is barely any faster for Japanese version. It benefits more on PAL version because you have fruit storage. But in a top level, I don't think anybody uses PAL version anymore. PAL version being another version you could run on because the Italian text is actually faster than Japanese text. Then you have fruit storage with Yoshi that doesn't exist in Japanese version. Then Serena Pit 6 is a lot easier with less strict requirements, but you don't have faster loading time on PAL version. That's why it's like kinda on par, but I still believe Japanese version saves just a little bit more time than we think.
Well, big goober blooper taken care of by Paper. Trey getting a quicker kill there on Shadow Mario than Paper did, so he'll get a little bit of time back there. But Paper, like I said, other than a couple minor mistakes, he's on a really nice run right here.
He's on a really, really good run. For a race, you probably wouldn't expect to have this good run from runner like Paper, but it can happen. It can happen to any runner having possibly a good day, a good RNG alongside to help out with the lead and getting a good time. Trey doing Rico 1, then Paper going for a blooperless entrance and a race.
Well, just for reference, Paperario, his PB is a 1:15.55. We have seen times get pretty low through this tournament. We're doing a really nice job with this blooperless race.
Yeah, there was that one tournament match where Paper actually tied his record that was low 116. And he was on pace to get 115. If it wasn't for some mistakes I don't want to mention.
No, I was there for that race. We were on the edge of our seats hoping that he would PB because he had PB'd that same day. That was the crazy part of that whole thing, was that he had PB'd earlier that day with a 1:16.02, and then he comes in and does a 1:16.02 again in a race later that day. But that just shows the level of consistency that we're playing, that we're working with here.
With a really nice Rico 3. Normally you would have to use the rocket, I believe, or just go around to go all the way up to the cage. But going underneath with a well-timed hover, that is not frame perfect. You're able to skip that section.
Trey working on his blooperless race. And just for reference for everyone, it's simply a skip through this. that you know the race thinks that you have a blooper, but you're able to get through it without one. Try getting a 118 there.
Paper right now in a Rico 4 secret. Really hard. Can be really hard when every dive rollouts matters so much. So you have the right cycle you're practiced for. Now you can see here Paper taking it a little bit easy. He probably noticed he wanted to make sure he doesn't die. I respect that.
Yeah, not too concerned with being the fastest possible, but just knowing maybe he knows he's ahead and just says, okay, I'm gonna go a little bit easier here. Make sure I don't die, because dying in a secret is just, it's so brutal. And you lose so much time. Paper taking on Big Gooper Blooper one more time. We would usually take him on 3 times, but we'll skip that later.
Yeah, Nintendo always like to use the bosses.
Okay, working his way through the secret. Really nice movement so far. Wow, really nice movement. Just these jump dives are on point.
Next up for Paper, Rico 6, red coins on a water, have to use a blooper. Technically you can beat this without using a blooper, but it's not any faster at all. Using a green blooper, because the handling is the best, then if you hold forward on your moving joystick, you're able to move faster. I believe yellow is like on par with the movement and the handling, but green is just overall better. Meanwhile, purple / red blooper has the first handling and always the top speed, even if you hold up. So green is just overall the best choice for going through this shine.
Paper taking care of it pretty easily. That was a different pattern than I've seen before on Paper side. Different route for those red coins.
Yeah, there's other route to time save wise. Maybe a second. I'm not quite sure exactly, but seeing the end time of in-game time being 1:33 or 1:32, it's just a really good time.
Paper getting that quick kill on Shadow Mario. AverageTrey gonna take on these red coins as well.
Let's see, is Trey gonna do that other route? Yeah, he got right after the first red coin. That is technically faster if you take all these hard turns, really risky turns. Getting 133 in an in-game timer. Then Paper is back in Diago Hill 6. If you remember, I mentioned about the event cutscenes. Right now, you can't really avoid them anymore, and time save wise, it's better to do Diago 6 and 7 later when you're starting to get event cutscenes. And you end up right next to Shadow Mario, that is much easier to handle from right side of the statue because the fruit is on the tree, so it's much faster. Then the Diago 6 secret, using a Y-turn wall kicks to Y-turn wall kick to handle that first block jump. These secrets are every secret has the certain cycle you want to follow, so you make the right strats then. And I believe Pepper is doing sort of movement, so he knows what kind of cycle he's on, so he can avoid possibly dying. Dying in this secret is the first.
Really nice there for Paper. And while that was going on, Skyhopper with the subscription. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Helping out GSA. AverageTrey is going to go in and take on this secret as well. Paper needs to take out Shadow Mario, and then he'll head out of Bianco.
Paper with a quick kill. Very nice.
Done. Yeah, really, really nice quick kill. That's exactly what you want to see, especially in this race. You know, he's holding on to this lead, and you know, something that is pretty free and nothing too difficult and nothing too risky.
Try using different way to do the first block jump by using a momentum spin jump off the block.
See if he goes for that here, off the block. So he's gonna opt not to do that. We have seen that momentum spin jump up from that block up to that platform several times in this tournament. Now Paper in Serena. Very important stage.
Now Serena Beach is like the sort of stage that can like turn the race around easily if Manta or Kimpu are not too nice for Paper or even for Trey. But it can be really nice. Then it has two hard secrets that can be troublesome as well. Then Serena 6. But mostly the important ones are the bosses, Manta and Kimpu, that can change the race around, possibly. But if Paper keeps playing consistently, he'll be able to maintain the lead.
Trey getting the quick kill there while we were watching Paper take on this Manta. Oh, getting a little hit there. A little unfortunate to see that. And we saw that one Manta was just kind of on his tail, not giving him any space.
That is really unfortunate for Paper. The splitting is not going how he wants it to go. You want to split those Mantas to smallest possible Mantas as soon as possible, so they turn purple or red. Then they start chasing you. If they're not purple, they're going away from you. Then it gets harder to catch them and just make you lose more time because it might take time to search for them.
Well, Paper might be a little disappointed there with that Manta fight.
Yeah, that wasn't that good Manta he was probably hoping for. I've always said that the splitting matters so much for Manta.
Well, it's
That-
all about horde control. It's all about like keeping the smaller mantas in one small area so that you can kind of take care of them all in one go. See Trey taking a little bit of a different strategy.
Yeah, this is a no hood strat. I'm always like being a little bit against this because I feel like if you don't do the splitting right, but I might be wrong now, you will easily get hit here by all the mantas. Then they scatter around the whole stage too much. So I feel like it's harder to catch them all in a one spot later on.
Well, Trey get into second stage pretty quickly, even though he took 2 hits there. Excuse me, 3 hits.
I would say Trey has much better manta right now than Paper.
Yeah, they're just a little scattered right now, but otherwise definitely a faster Manta on Trey's side than on Paper's side. So again, Trey making up a little bit of time.
Paper on first secret of Serena Peach, Serena 2. I would say it's the hardest secret of the game, personally. Probably because the momentum spin jump at the end is very risky and it has no backup. But Top Runners has like no issues with it. But I wouldn't be surprised Pepper doesn't go for it. But he seems to be setting up for it. And he doesn't get it!
Oh no! Well, that he just went straight off the edge of that. Now, fortunately, he'll be able to jump in this and go straight into the secret. But that was a massive death.
That gives some hope for Trey. It just shocks me that maybe Paper is not looking at his opponent at all, Trey. So he was probably comfortable at going for it. I don't blame him if he's comfortable to go for it. Neither if he doesn't go for it. But time save wise, it's just about 4 seconds if you get it. Then if you don't get it, add 0 behind 4 and make it 40-second time loss. That's how big of a time loss it is just for messing that one strat in a secret.
Well, he gets it on the second go, fortunately, but like you said, it's just such a time loss, unfortunately, especially there at the end of the secret.
Yeah, it is really
Trey.
unfortunate.
Oh no! Trey! What is happening in these secrets? From both these guys. Trey just taking a swan dive straight to the bottom. Not sure what happened there. Just didn't seem like he was lined up properly.
That was a really scary angle from Trey. I was hoping he doesn't bump to that block there, the sand block. What are you doing, Paper? You're ahead still. Stop it. Oh, fine. If you wanna a little bit show off, then do it.
So, Paper taking a different strat there. So typically what you see there is they go for what's a banana skip or banana split if you want to call it that, but Paper showing off a different clip for that. So doing Yoshi skip bananaless, if you will, using Yoshi. Maybe you can explain that clip a little bit better than I can.
By clipping through the ceiling in the Japanese version, somehow you also take Yoshi with you, and you're able to clip twice above the next floor and to get to the shine. There is actually, when people do bingos in Super Mario Sunshine, there's a goal specifically for this shine that is called Serena Peach 3 no clip. So then you can't do the clip with the Yoshi. You have to get the pineapple regular way and also do the whole shine regular way.
Yeah, we see Trey doing the normal strat for that, using the banana. Paper getting a hole in one there for this secret. Now we're coming up to the King Boo, which it can be RNG heavy. See if Paper decides to go for. He will. Very nice.
The another way to get the momentum spin jump when you have running speed on like that, and you rotate the control stick in at the right speed, you're able to get a spin jump out of it. So yeah, King Boom is coming up. It could change the race, or it may not change it at all. Usually the common cycles, the amount of cycles is 1 or 2. And if you get more than that, you're pretty much unlucky with King Boom. Trey is still in a secret. He's still living on the edge, I would say, for this race. Trey getting the momentum spin jump, very nicely done. Paper entering the fight.
Yeah, so the RNG here is what you want. The pattern that you want from King Boo is you want fruit, and then whatever something else, then fruit, then something else, and then fruit. But sometimes in between those two spins of fruit, you can get more than just one extra spin, which makes the RNG less perfect.
Yeah, each extra cycle losing about 6 to 7 seconds. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it's 6 to 7 seconds. Then another mention, if you see the middle part of the slot machine being a question mark, then it's guaranteed fruit. Both times I saw Paper not getting the question mark there, the green question mark, but he got lucky and the King Boo gave him a fruit. Now Trey he really has to hope for 0 extra cycles, then maybe some extra cycles for Paper to catch up. They're in the same fight, but Paper already has done 2 hits. Oh, there's one. That's so unfortunate for Trey. That is an extra cycle. He has to get rid of that.
Right off the bat.
One for Paper.
Yeah.
Paper getting 1 extra cycle overall the whole fight. Oh, that Paper going underneath. Ooh, you can't get that. So that was 1 extra for Paper. Meanwhile, Trey is still in a fight. He really has to hope for no more. There's one. He needs 1 more hit after this. What are you doing, Trey? Trey, I'm shocked. Did you just confuse yourself?
Yeah. He definitely just did. That's a bizarre mistake there from Trey.
That really hurts to see.
He'll clean it up. Paper doing some cleaning up of his own. Now the difficulty with cleaning the beach here in Japanese version is that you can get there's a higher completion rate that you need in the Japanese version, as well as you can get some invisible goop lying around in certain areas. We'll see how Paper manages that.
Oh, there's the invisible goop. The ideal time you wanna see in Japanese version is like around over 2:15 seconds left in a timer, the bottom left timer, and if it's 2:20, over that it's really good, I would say. The IL record on PAL version or American version, they're same by the way for Serena 6. I believe it's 2:31. It's over 2:30, I know that. My best is still 2:27. I've never beaten it since 2013.
Well, Paper getting 217. Trey will follow up very closely behind.
A whole shine defense for these both runners.
And Paper will take on Shadow Mario. Trey cleaning the beach. Nice quick kill there from Paper. Got him just before the staircase. That's very quick.
Trey seems to have a little bit better. 0.6, I think. Oh, he's missing some in a start. Probably on purpose always. But it was better
nice.
than Paper's.
Yeah, about a second faster on Trey's side, but Paper heading in here. Last area before our volcano.
The last world of the game, Noki 6, Noki Bay. I almost said Noki 6, my favorite level, yeah. So Noki Bay in general, no RNG except Noki 1, that may have some unfortunate timing with the Kumi showing up. Oh, Paper getting the best cycle, I think. Yeah, he got it. That recover is literally amazing movement. No like minor mistakes at all, and you're able to catch the burst cycle, so the mole doesn't fire next three, whatever those are called.
Ooh, Trey getting a little bit quicker of a kill there on Shadow Mario. Fluff64, thank you so much for the 11 months of subscription. Really appreciate it. A little subscription hype there in the chat.
Thank you for supporting GSA, and that was tier 2 as well. Just want to mention.
Both these guys now, Noki Bay. Again, last area before we take on Bowser. Paper's, you know, he's on his good 116 pace. Not sure if 115 is possible anymore.
I think it's barely doable anymore. That pet was really costly for him. 216 is still on the table. 116, sorry. 116. Well, 216 will happen if he waits 1 hour.
If Paper really takes his time through Noki, then it might be a 216. Ooh, Trey missing the grab there on the last bomb.
Guess doing this Noki 3. Maybe I should mention that there's other tournaments going on right now. I believe Super Mario Bros. 3 100% tournament is still going on, isn't it?
Yeah, Super Mario Bros. 3 is in full swing. That is also in the single elimination round as well. We've got that going on. Next Super Mario Bros. 3 race is on Friday between Zakubi and Macobra at 6 o'clock. But tomorrow we've got more Super Mario Sunshine action with SB Electric and Quiniza going at it. And then, of course, we've got the Super Mario 64 finals on Saturday for 70 Star D2.
Really hot tournament matches, always on GSA. Paper is done with Noki 3, Trey is done meanwhile in Noki 2. Noki 3 always act as the practice shine for the upcoming boss fight that is underwater to get used to underwater controls.
Well, this is a very important fight with the eel. You know how quickly you can take care of this. Very important, especially with the skip at the end. I'm taking a little bit of damage at the end, and Paper saving a frame.
If you can. So yeah, eel is underwater boss fight. 8 teeth, you have to spray all of them. There's a strat, everybody calls for 6-tooth strat. Previously 5-tooth strat, then 4-tooth strat, but people started getting better and started to get the hang of 6-tooth strat, where they spray all the middle teeth, a cold tooth, then another corner tooth before he closes the mouth. He has a timer going on the very first moment he opens the mouth, and during that time you can spray all the 6 teeth. Then set up for the spent tooth, go for the other side just like Paper is doing. Go inside the mouth one more time and set up for the cutscene skip by using the iframes when getting hit by the tooth.
Looks like Paper did a good job there. Skipping that cutscene. Takes a little bit of damage. Saves a couple seconds there.
15 seconds to get a cutscene skip. Also to mention about the corner teeth, you're technically like damaging eel, so he would go back down to his hiding hole if you happen to spray the corner tooth at the wrong time.
Paper taking on Piantissimo one last time. It doesn't matter too much how quickly or slowly you beat him, as long as you beat him.
Yeah, exact same shine, just like in Pianta 2. He takes a bonk at the start, so he's very consistent at it.
You see AverageTrey taking care of these teeth as well. Looks like he's doing a pretty good job so far. Eel's mouth closes. Gets the last one.
Cutscene skip.
Yep.
The iframes are the reason for the cutscene skip. And another small version difference that exists in Japanese version, you want to take the iframes from a tooth, because the iframes amount is like 2 seconds, I believe. It's long enough to get the cutscene skip. If you take air damage, it's like half a second of iframes only on, and with that kind of time frame, you can't get a cutscene skip really. It's possible, but not really like something you should count on. On English versions, I'm talking about PAL and American version, the iframes are exactly the same if you take the damage from a tooth or just take air damage by waiting. But yeah, let's see how Paper handles Naughty 6.
Well, this is a big secret here. We've seen it make and break runs. Movement alone up to the secret is very important to be careful with.
Yeah, the rope strats really optimal. 2 seconds faster than a regular strat by using the wall jumps. And Paper gets it really nicely. Then a secret. It doesn't end there. Oh, I think he missed the spin jump, or just his jump there, so he can't do the green cycle anymore, but he goes for the blue cycle, I believe. Yeah, he does. Blue cycle being the old cycle runners went for. Then everyone became faster, and green cycle became the standard cycle for top players. And at the
Very
end,
nice.
And at the end,
Paper.
at the end, Paper also finished off with a pyro kick, the ball jump off the moving platformer.
Well, here we go. Paper. Last shine in Noki before he heads on into the volcano. One more Shadow Mario kill.
Oh, don't let him get away. If he ball jumps up, you can't knock him off until he stops next time. Meanwhile, Trey doing the rope jumps as well. And should have them. Very nicely done.
Well, Paper, certainly not on PB pace anymore. But a 116 isn't out of the question just yet. It'll be close.
Trey on a really good cycle. He gets the ham cycle. Really nice movement by Trey.
Yeah, unfortunately just barely missing the shine grab, but able to get the backup. See if Paper decides to go for these fast strat.
Based on the movement I see, he's not going for a fast corner. He knows he's ahead. He doesn't have to risk it anymore.
Really nice job here getting on this boat. Ooh, a little slow there on the jump up top. Trey gonna take on Karuna as well.
Overall, this race felt like really close. Really unfortunate for Trey what happened. Would have been a really good race.
Well,
And
the
it
big
was
thing
really
here
good
is
race still.
well, the big thing here is Trey took a death that Paper was able to avoid both of them evening out in that secret in Serena. Paper get these last couple of ground pounds. Should have a 116.
And yeah, that definitely is 116.
Wow, very nice. 116.47 from Paper Trey. If he can get through this quickly, he can get a 117.
I don't think 170 looks possible
maybe
anymore.
118 now. Yeah.
And we have some GGs in the chat.
The water's great, hey, Junior?
Sure is, Papa. Come on in, Mama Peach. I think not.
Yeah, looks like Trey, unfortunately, is going to miss that 117. Get a low 118, though. But Paper will be moving on to the semis. Taking on you, Samu.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really good match.
Trey just needing 2 more ground pounds here. 1 more. Be done. 118.12 final time, and we'll get both these guys into the booth. GG's to both you guys, but big GG's to Paper on
Hello.
taking that win. Congratulations.
Yo, 0 seconds. Congrats, dude.
0 seconds. What a good time.
That's insane.
Now,
What a time.
the big thing I want to ask you guys about is Serena, the Serena secret. Both of you guys took deaths there. Paper, it looked like you went for that spin jump, didn't work out, and then Trey just kind of swan diving off the platform there, just completely missing it.
Yeah, that was a weird mistake. I just buffered my spin jump wrong.
Yeah, same on my end. Like I haven't been missing spin jumps very often, and that just kind of happened. And then I was like falling, and I was like, oh, okay then. I guess I'm no longer on 115 pace. That's fine.
Did you knew that you're very ahead, Trey, at that point?
I actually I don't think I did, because I wasn't watching the race. I think up until I was doing Serena 3 when I looked in, and then like right as I was about to do Bananaless, I saw Trey die, and I was like, okay, I'll go for Bananaless.
Yeah, I couldn't watch the stream, otherwise my thing would drop a lot of frames. So, but what time did you get, Paper?
1:16:47.
Nice.
And Trey, so let's I want to talk about Trey taking that death there with the Chucksters. It looked like you were going to get early cycle there, but what happened?
Oh, I just messed up the angle, so it wasn't gonna work.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was really like a little bit shocked that didn't take that much time.
And I was distracted by the fact. So okay, this is gonna sound like the dumbest excuse ever, but for this race, I was trying a new setup that allows me to only capture my game audio and not my desktop audio. And there's this weird side effect with my setup where over time the audio gets more and more delayed. And like it got to a point where it was like a second delayed audio I was hearing in my ear versus what I was seeing. So I was like trying to fix it, so I changed the resolution to like refresh it, and it worked. But you probably saw when like it got like all weird looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was kind of tilted from that, but I don't know. I gotta like not use the setup anymore, I guess.
The vacation starts now.
And then last for me, let's talk about the Paper. That Manta fight was a little sketchy. If you just want to walk us through what happened there.
My like the second split after, so like it was the first Manta, then the two Mantas. The split after that was like kind of mediocre, but then also I just executed pretty poorly, and then like I just didn't like Manta, so I was just like kind of messing around until I was done with the level. But I wasn't too phased because I knew that like I had a bad King Boo in my PB, so I thought I was like still on PB pace and chilling until Serena 2 kind of did it to me.
So I have a question, Trey. Fruit cycle cancelled.
Yeah,
What
I was
happened there?
distracted. I canceled the fruit cycle, I know.
Yeah. That was really unfortunate. Taking an
I don't
extra
know.
cycle
I
after
was
that.
just-
Then.
Weird stuff's going through my head, I guess.
Well, Samu, do you have anything else for these guys?
Not really, but I will say that both of you played really well in the beginning. Unfortunate for Trey falling behind, then really hard to catch up if your opponent plays consistently. Still through the whole race, the consistency is just a really big key in these races. But I don't have anything more to ask about Paper. Are you ready?
Oh yeah, I am ready for a long, grueling best of 3 with you, Samu. It should be a fun one. I'm excited.
It will be.
Well, we'll wait to find out about when that's going to be scheduled. But Paper will take on Samu in the semifinals. But that will be it from us here today. We don't have anything else left on the schedule, unfortunately. But tomorrow, come back 7 o'clock. We got Super Mario Sunshine SB Electric versus Quiniza. Again, single elimination, big tournament going on here with our Super Mario Sunshine. And then we've got Super Mario Bros. 3 as well. That tournament is in full swing as well. Zakubi and Macobra on Friday at 6 o'clock. And then Saturday's got a full day worth of stuff. Super Mario Bros. 3, as well as our Super Mario 64 finals for 70-star D2. So make sure to check all that out. Again, if you need more information, ! bracket for the brackets, and ! schedule to find out what is going on here at GSA. My name is Scotch and Tie Guy. Thank you so much for joining us. Samu, thank you so much for being in the commentary booth with me today. And gentlemen, thank you so much for the race. It was good watching.
Anytime.
Thank you
brother.
for
Thank you,
watching,
brother.
and thank you for the race, guys.
Have a great day, guys.